starting with volume, these problems are working backwards problems. We've been working with problems where you're given all of the dimensions and you have to find the volume. Now you're given the volume and you have to find other dimensions. So I want you right now to pause the video and copy down this problem and see if you can work it before we go over it together. The base of a rectangular prism has the area shown to the left. So this is the area of the base. If the volume is 192 cubic inches, remember if we're working in cubic measurements, we know that we're working with volume. What is the height of the prism? So I always think that it's a good idea to draw a picture so that you can visualize the situation. So this is the base, and it's a rectangular prism, so I'm going to draw the rest of the rectangular prism. And so we know that this is the base. And what are the dimensions? It's 4 inches by 4 inches. We know that the total volume is 192 cubic inches. So we have to find the height. And remember, the height is this distance from base to base. So if you stood the prism up on its base, right now it's not sitting on its base. If you stood it up on its base, how tall would it be? What would be the distance between the bases, or the height? So the first thing that you need to think about is that volume is area of the base times height. So here, if our dimensions are 4 by 4, then we know that the area, or big B, is 16 inches squared. So we know if big B is 16 inches squared, then all we have to do is take the area of the base, multiply it by the height, and that should give us 192. So if you think about substituting that into your formula, that's 192 equals 16 times the height. So if we know that the total is going to be 192, then can't we just divide 192 by 16 to get the height? So let's go ahead and do that. Divided by 16. So 16 will go into 19 once. So we know that this height is 12 inches. And doesn't that make sense? 12, the height, times the area of the base is 16, times 12 equals 192. So pause and rewind and make sure you know how to work this. Alright, write this problem down, pause the video, write this problem down, and let's see if you can solve it, and then check your work. A rectangular prism has a volume of 120 cubic centimeters. If the height of the prism is 40 centimeters, what's the area of the base? So this problem, we're looking for the area of the base. So again, draw a picture of it. So we know it's a rectangular prism. Oh, pause. Sorry. Change that to triangular prism. Just for variety. A triangular prism has the volume of 120 cubic centimeters. So let's draw this triangular prism. And we know that the total volume is 120 cubic centimeters. So we know that the height is 40. So if our bases are these triangles, the height is the distance between the bases. So that height is 40 centimeters. We're looking for the area of the base. Not the height of the base, not the length of the base. We're looking for the whole entire area of the base. Well, again, volume is area of the base times the height. So if you know that the volume is 120, that all you're doing to get 120 is multiplying the area of the base times 40. So can't we divide 120 by 40 to get the area of the base? So in other words, the area here, this times 40, has to equal 120. So 120 divided by 40 is 3. 3 times 40 is 120. So the area of the base here, big B, has to equal 3 centimeters squared. 3 centimeters squared, because remember, we're working with area of the base. So, pause and rewind as much as you need. Alright, copy this problem down as well, and then try and work it before we go over it together. A cylindrical barrel of hay has a volume of 280 square feet. We're looking for the area of the base. So, here is our barrel of hay. We know that the total volume is 280. Uh-oh, I see a teeny tiny error. What is it? Square feet? Is volume ever going to be square feet? No. So pause and change that to cubic feet. So again, that should be cubic feet. So the volume is 280 cubic feet. We need to find the area of the base. So again, volume is area of the base times the height. So 280 has to equal the area of the base times... Wow, guys, I didn't give you the height. I'm just really sorry. Go ahead and add in if the height is 28 feet. So we know that 280, the total volume, has to equal area of the base times, what is the height? 28. So 28. So we know that the area of the base times 28 has to equal 280. So 280 divided by 28 would be 10. So the area of the base, big B here, is 10 feet squared. Alright, sorry about that last problem. Pause, rewind as much as possible to make sure that you understand how to work backwards on these problems.